and everything that we need to do, one of which is to totally reform the world's banking systems, because one of the chief elements of enslavement and coercion is money. I wanted to talk just a moment about sovereignty in your own right. Sovereignty in your own right does not imply that you're sovereign over anyone else. You know, I see all these patriots that want to swagger around. Oh, I'm sovereign. I'm the king. Well, that's bullshit. You're king of yourself, which means you're responsible for your own actions, including your asinine trying to lord it over everybody else. Sovereignty in your own right is a precious gift, because it means that you do not owe any sovereign anything. You do not owe allegiance to a king or to a trading company or any other damn thing. You are free. All right? You are free to think, feel, create, and enjoy the fruits of your labor. You are free to have your privacy and your security and your home and your family. How much more do you want? Quite the opposite. We're here to defend people's rights to enjoy all those things. So take your sovereignty in your own right and understand that it is not the same kind of sovereignty that someone like Elizabeth II claimed for her own little self. It's not the same concept. It doesn't mean that you are equal to the queen in the sense of being a figurehead for an entire country. You're not. It means that you are free as the queen. You have the same rights and abilities to express yourself, to own private property as the queen. Being sovereign in your own right means that you own yourself. Being sovereign in your own right means that you are self-responsible and self-governing. They want to have a workforce that is ready to serve them. You see, this is all just pre-planned down to a gnat's eyelash. And the people who are doing it are people like J.D. Rockefeller and Jacob Rothschild, who really don't give a rat's patootie about anybody or anything except profit and coercion, taking advantage of other people and creating this self-serving system of authoritarian rule. You can see the same thing in religion. You go talk to the Jesuits. They'll tell you that. No secret about it. You know, give us a child until they're 5, and we will determine their life, how they think, what they do, what they value, what they believe, what they don't believe. They've got that down to such a science that they can practically guarantee it's like behavioral science. Okay, so religions do the same thing. Religions have their authority hierarchy, right? It's the same exact system where you have the authority figure coming down on top of you and telling you everything that you're supposed to think, how to think, when to think, where to think, and not to think. There's even a kill switch. And the kill switch is called social patterning, but one of which is shaming. We saw that during the recent quote-unquote pandemic. If you went out in public without a mask, you felt, everybody let you know that you weren't doing the right thing. They were being coerced by their programming to reach wrong conclusions and to apply those wrong conclusions both to themselves and to you. Because upon further examination, it was all just bunk. I mean, we can use social patterning to set higher standards for our own behavior and for groups that we belong to, but we don't generally. We don't use these tools for any good purpose, and those who are aware of these tools use them for bad purposes. So that's part of why we can't all realize what we say we want for ourselves and for others. is that we're being programmed and browbeaten and coerced almost from the moment we're born by a self-interested and predatory system of control. And the brick system, frankly, deals with gold and silver, and it's transparent enough, but it's also highly controlled. It's highly regulated, highly controlled, and it will be politicized. You know, the red Chinese will want to be in there, and first their argument will be, well, we have the right to control the red Chinese people. And so they will control the red Chinese people using the BRICS system. And next it'll be a kind of a creeping cancer phenomenon where, you know, the Brazilians say, well, we have the right to control the Brazilian people. And then they will use the BRICS system to control their population, and they'll use it for political purposes, and they will use it for oppression. And on it will go. So BRICS is no answer either, even though it is more honest in terms of being an asset-backed currency system. So what is the answer? Neither the existing fiat system nor BRICS. So we have chosen the third path, which is what we call decentralized banking and decentralized exchanges. Okay? These other systems are corrupt, whether they're dealing in credit or whether they're dealing in actual factual assets, for one reason. They're coercive. They can be abused for political motives. They can be used to control and to harm people, to steal money and assets from people. They're evil. And, you know, the politicians want them because they want the power. We don't want it because we don't want that power to be consolidated and held in anybody's hands. We don't trust anybody. After what we've gone through, we don't trust any organization to be the regulator of our financial system. We want free trade and we want free commerce. And the only way to do that is by building, specifically and purposefully building, a system that is deregulated and decentralized so that people in Zimbabwe can directly trade with people in America, and people in Sweden can directly trade with people in England. And there isn't this huge polyglot control that can be coerced and corrupted to serve political ends. All right? So we have a vision of an economic and financial and monetary system which is profoundly different in that it is not coercive. It cannot be corrupted to serve political ends because it is apolitical. Our decentralized exchange and trade and commercial system is transparent. It's not under the control of any party or any particular political flavor, and it does not lend itself to being used in a coercive way. So we've chosen this third route. So we're going our own route, and we are doing it through a network of banks that are committed to become prosperity institutions. We're not even going to call them banks. The only reason we call them banks now is so that people kind of get the idea of what they do. But really, truly, these institutions are different than any kind of bank that you've ever experienced, or any credit union either. And they are profoundly different in that they serve the cause of human freedom, which is what America is supposed to be all about. How can you be truly free if you're not financially free? You have got to see that anything that concerns freedom demands a free and honest financial system. Otherwise, we can never be free. Otherwise, we will always forever be enslaved. And we will be enslaved by the entire concept of money, which is idolatry. And we will be enslaved by our false beliefs about money. And we will be enslaved by systems like the Rockefellers set up, where they control the flow of money, just like they monopolized and controlled the flow of oil. So we need something more. We need something different. We're in search of our freedom. And the only way that we can have real freedom is if we have our own monetary and financial system, which is endemically opposed to political manipulation and regulation of our use of our financial system. That's why it has to be decentralized. Okay? Now, this is a huge threat to the central banks. Let's put it this way: a banking function entered the stage where it's just a very simple matter. The money goes in, the money comes out, the books balance at the end of the day, there you are. No money laundering, no false identities, no millions of non-existent legal fiction people, no IRS master files making up completely fictitious narratives and attaching them to your name and pretending that this person is you. Okay, none of that crap. Totally different, just a pure transactional system where I can trade my gold for your gold. I can trade my silver for your corn. And it needs to be simple. Why? Because the truth is always simple. It's the lies that are always complex. It's the lies that require regulatory agencies to watch over them. Because why? The liars don't want to get caught, number one. Number two, once you start lying, then the liars want to put limits on the lies, right? They want to make sure they can lie to you, but not lie to Joe. All this regulatory crap is just about liars trying to manipulate a system that they've created.